Immerse yourself in the fascinating world of transcendental philosophy with the father of modern philosophy, Immanuel Kant. In this video, we'll delve into the core principles of Kant's philosophy, exploring how he revolutionized the way we think about knowledge, reality, and human experience. Although Kant's philosophical system can be daunting, even for the most seasoned philosophers, what makes his philosophical work so significant, and why do his ideas remain relevant today? From the critique of pure reason to his theories on ethics and morality, we'll crack the code of Kant's complex ideas and uncover the profound insights that continue to shape modern thought. Whether you're a philosophy enthusiast, a student of Kant, or simply curious about the nature of reality, this video is your gateway to understanding the intricacies of transcendental philosophy. So, join us on this journey into the mind of a genius and discover the timeless wisdom of Kant's philosophy. Remember, hit the bell button and subscribe. Let's begin. Immanuel Kant is considered one of the most influential philosophers in the history of Western philosophy. His ideas have shaped the way we think about knowledge, reality, and morality. The challenge of understanding how knowledge is constructed and the limits of human understanding is a fundamental problem that has puzzled philosophers for centuries. Kant's philosophy tackles this problem head-on, and his insights have far-reaching consequences for our understanding of the world and our place in it. At its core, the problem is this: how can we be certain that our knowledge of the world corresponds to the world itself, rather than just being a product of our minds? Kant's solution to this problem is to argue that the human mind plays an active role in shaping our experience of reality. He claims that our experience of the world is not a direct reflection of reality itself, but rather a construction of our minds. This may seem counterintuitive, but bear with me as we explore the implications of this idea. According to Kant, our minds organize and structure sensory data into a coherent picture of the world, using certain innate categories and concepts. This means that our knowledge of the world is not a passive reception of sensory data, but an active process of construction and interpretation. And this has huge implications for our understanding of knowledge and reality. If our minds are actively constructing our experience of the world, then what can we really know about reality itself? Is it even possible to access the world as it is, independent of our perceptions and concepts? Kant's key concepts, such as the categorical imperative and transcendental aesthetic, are central to his philosophical system, and offer a profound insight into the nature of knowledge and morality. The categorical imperative, for example, is a moral principle that Kant argues is universal and absolute. It's a principle that should guide all our actions, and it's based on the idea that we should only act according to a rule that could be willed as a universal law. The transcendental aesthetic, on the other hand, is Kant's theory of knowledge and perception. He argues that our experience of the world is shaped by our sensory faculties, which impose certain structures and categories on our experience. This means that our knowledge of the world is always filtered through our minds, and that we can never access the world as it is, independent of our perceptions. The transcendental aesthetic is also closely tied to Kant's concept of space and time. He argues that space and time are not features of the world itself, but rather ways in which our minds organize and structure sensory data. This may seem like a radical idea, but it has far-reaching implications for our understanding of reality and our place in it. One of the key insights from Kant's philosophy is the idea that our experience of the world is always an interplay between the external world and our minds. This means that our knowledge of the world is never purely objective, but is always shaped by our subjective experience. This has huge implications for our understanding of reality, and it challenges our intuitive sense of how the world works. Kant's philosophy also suggests that our understanding of the world is always limited and provisional. Our knowledge of the world is always filtered through our minds, and we can never access the world as it is, independent of our perceptions. This means that our understanding of the world is always open to revision and change, and that we should always approach knowledge with a sense of humility and caution. What is Transcendental Philosophy? Transcendental philosophy starts with the idea that experience is undoubtedly the first outcome of our understanding as it processes raw sensory data. It's our initial lesson, and it's so rich in new insights that future generations will continue to discover fresh knowledge from it. However, our understanding isn't limited to just experience. Experience shows us what exists, but it doesn't prove that things must be that way and not any other. Therefore, it doesn't provide us with absolute universality. Reason, which demands this type of knowledge, is more provoked than content with experience alone. Knowledge that is universally valid and necessarily true must be evident in itself, separate from experience. This is known as a priori knowledge, while knowledge gained solely through experience is called a posteriori or empirical knowledge. We've discovered something quite remarkable: even our experiences are influenced by types of knowledge that must originate from within us, before any experience occurs. These may only exist to make our sensory perceptions more coherent. If we strip away all the sensory elements from our experiences, we're still left with fundamental concepts and judgments that must have been formed independently of those experiences. These concepts allow us to understand sensory objects in a way that goes beyond what experience alone can tell us, providing a level of certainty and necessity that mere empirical knowledge cannot provide. In conclusion, Kant's philosophy offers a profound insight into the nature of knowledge and reality. His ideas continue to shape modern thought, and his influence can be seen in many areas of philosophy, from ethics to metaphysics. So, whether you're a seasoned philosopher or just starting out, Kant's philosophy is definitely worth exploring. Thanks for watching, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on Kant's philosophy in the comments below. If you're interested in exploring more philosophical topics, be sure to check out our next video.